Hi, I'm Dr. Frank Summers. So, you get to choose what Hubble observes next. But you're probably not a professional astronomer, so you might want a little bit of information about what these objects are. Now, remember, these are objects that Hubble has never observed before. So I can't really show you them in the detail that Hubble will see them. Instead, we have to look at them with some low resolution and actually some black and white images. There are 6 candidates, and let me go through them one by one. Our first candidate is a star-forming region named NGC 6634. And as the name implies, a star-forming region is a nebula where stars are born. This is where gas clouds collapse and form new stars, and the new stars emit this high-energy radiation that causes the nebula around it to glow, and that's some really beautiful regions. And so this is a low-resolution preview from a sky survey that shows you just the basics of what this star-forming region looked like, but you have to sort of imagine, what will Hubble see? How beautiful it will be when Hubble comes in and looks at this in full color. And if you don't like star birth, well, maybe you'll go in for star death. This is a planetary nebula named NGC 6072. Now, planetary nebula have nothing to do with planets. That was a mistaken name that was given to them when they were first discovered. Instead, a planetary nebula is the remains of a star like the Sun, or a little bit more massive than our Sun. What happens is that when the star runs out of fuel in its core, the core heats up and trying to go to higher and higher nuclear fusion reactions, and it ends up actually blowing off its outer layers into space. Sort of like blowing a smoke bubble into space. But there can be amazing patterns to these planetary nebula, and this one, as you can see, is sort of blowing out its gas in either direction. Again, when Hubble looks at it, it will be incredibly more detailed and, of course, a lot more beautiful than this black and white image. Planetary nebula are so beautiful, matter of fact, that our third candidate is also a planetary nebula. This one is called NGC 40. Now, I have a hard time selling this one simply because the sky survey image that we're using here is actually overexposed. It's pretty much just straight white. But that indicates this is a relatively bright planetary nebula, so that when Hubble looks at it, we'll be able to see a lot more detail than we might be able to see in the previous one. But again, this is the death of a star, and the gas blowing out away from that star is just really a beautiful sight. So those are 3 nebula possibilities. We also have 3 galaxy possibilities. Our fourth candidate is a spiral galaxy named NGC 5172. And it's a spiral galaxy. Well, as you can see, these spiral arms here and this spiral arm here. And sort of these pinwheel shape, that gives it the name spiral. But in case you didn't know, a galaxy is really composed of billions and billions of stars. A large galaxy, about 100 billion stars. So what makes these spiral arms, what makes them special, is that along these spiral arms are where stars are born. Those star-forming regions, like the one that I showed you before, are actually populated along these spiral arms. So when you get a high-resolution image of this, you'll see fireworks essentially going off along the spiral arms. These spiral galaxies are actually flat as a pancake. You can't see that in this image because you're seeing it from an oblique angle, but in our next candidate, NGC 4289, you're seeing that spiral galaxy, instead of at an oblique angle, you're seeing it edge on. This pancake is shown edge on to you. So instead of looking down onto the star-forming region, you're looking sideways at it, and you can see not only the stars, but you can also see the dense gas that's collapsing to form those stars. So the edge-on galaxies give us a unique view of a galaxy, and for astronomers, it shows us a lot of new things that we could not see otherwise when looking at a galaxy. Our final candidate is not just one galaxy, but it's 2 galaxies. These 2 galaxies are collectively known as ARP 274, and they are actually interacting. Here you can see there are 2 galaxies, and you can see a spiral arm here and a spiral arm here and a bit of spiral structure. So it looks like they've got 2 spiral galaxies, but these galaxies are passing by one another, and the gravity of one galaxy is pulling on the gravity of another galaxy and probably distorting their shapes. You can't see them very well here, but I guarantee you, when Hubble takes a look at this, you'll be able to see all sorts of detail in these interacting galaxies. So, there you have it. These are our 6 finalists. We have a star-forming region here, a planetary nebula, a spiral galaxy, an edge-on spiral galaxy, and 2 interacting galaxies. Again, these are black and white, low-resolution versions from which you get to choose. But I got to tell you, I'm a professional astronomer, and because Hubble hasn't observed these in high resolution, I can't say for sure myself which one would make the best image. That is up for you to decide. The winning image will be released during a special International Year of Astronomy event called 100 Hours of Astronomy. This is 4 straight days of astronomical events that take place between April 2nd and April 5th, 2009. Hopefully you will hear an awful lot about this. Your local planetarium or your local museum will have observing, and hopefully there will be lots of events where you'll get to look through a telescope during the 100 hours of astronomy. But the final Hubble image selected will be released during these 100 hours of astronomy. However, don't wait till April. You don't have till April. We only have until March 1st to get your vote in. So go to hubblesite.org, cast your vote, and help us choose what will be Hubble's next discovery.